port of Long Beach, California, one of the busiest gateways of global trade. Every single day, thousands of containers arrive here, filled with goods from across the Pacific. But on this day, the motor vessel Mississippi would make history, not for its cargo, but for one of the most dramatic and dangerous container collapses ever recorded inside a modern port. This is not just a story of falling steel boxes. It's a story of global shipping, hidden risks, and a system pushed to its limits. The Mississippi, a 5,500 TEU container ship operated by ZIM, had just completed a long trans-Pacific voyage. Her route, Vietnam, China, and then across the vast Pacific Ocean. At dawn, she entered Long Beach, guided by tugboats, and slowly positioned herself at the terminal. For the crew and dock workers, it was supposed to be routine. Lashings were removed, cranes were lined up, and offloading operations began. But beneath the surface, trouble was already brewing. At 10:30 a.m., everything changed. A thunderous noise ripped across the terminal. A massive stack of containers, each weighing anywhere between 10 to 30 tons, suddenly gave way. Like dominoes, they toppled overboard. Dozens of giant steel boxes crashed into the sea, splashing water high into the air. This was no minor mishap. Entire stacks were collapsing, something almost never witnessed inside a secure port environment. And within moments, it became clear, this was a full-blown maritime emergency. Experts immediately began searching for answers. Several theories emerged. 1. Ballast system failure. The Mississippi appeared to have a noticeable starboard list. Ballast systems are designed to keep ships perfectly balanced during cargo operations. If the system malfunctioned, even a slight tilt could destabilize the stacks. 2. Weight mismanagement. Shipping containers are often declared with inaccurate weights. If heavier containers were stacked on top of lighter ones, the crushing force could have caused structural failure deep within the stack. 3. Shifting cargo. Inside the containers, improperly secured goods may have shifted. A 20-ton load suddenly leaning against a sidewall can trigger a domino effect. 4. Structural weakness. A single faulty or corroded container at the bottom may have collapsed, unable to bear the weight above it. In shipping, even a small imbalance can unleash catastrophic consequences. And that's exactly what happened here. As the first stack collapsed, alarms spread across the port. Crane operators were forced to stop mid-operation, swinging massive containers back into safe positions. Then, a second stack collapsed, this time dangerously close to the vessel's superstructure. Some containers fell toward the emissions barge docked alongside, narrowly avoiding a collision that could have turned this accident into a fiery disaster. The Port of Long Beach Fire Department, Coast Guard, and rescue vessels rushed in. Miraculously, despite the sheer scale of destruction, no lives were lost. But the danger was far from over. Dozens of containers floated in the harbor like steel icebergs. Some were filled with air pockets and remained buoyant. Others slowly began sinking, threatening to block the shipping channel. The Coast Guard quickly deployed containment booms and herded the floating containers into controlled areas. Salvage teams now faced a dangerous challenge, lifting submerged and crushed containers from the water without causing further collapses. What exactly was inside those fallen containers? Reports suggest a mix of consumer goods, clothing, footwear, furniture. But others may have carried hazardous cargo, lithium-ion batteries, chemicals, or even flammable materials. If a damaged container leaked, it could have sparked fires or contaminated the harbor. Every single box now had to be carefully inspected, lifted, and transported under strict safety measures. This accident wasn't just about one ship. It exposed larger flaws in the global shipping system. Every year, between 1,300 and 1,500 containers are lost at sea. But inside ports, catastrophic collapses like this are extremely rare. The demand for speed and efficiency often means safety shortcuts, lashings removed too early, heavier loads stacked incorrectly, and reliance on automation over human oversight. With shipping companies under pressure to move goods faster, risks like this are likely to grow. The Mississippi disaster is now a case study in what happens when those risks turn real. Recovery efforts will take weeks, possibly months. Salvage crews must dismantle collapsed stacks container by container. Some boxes are crushed beyond recognition. Others lean precariously, balanced like pieces in a dangerous Jenga tower. Meanwhile, divers and barge-mounted cranes work in the water, pulling sunken containers from the harbor floor. Every move must be calculated. One wrong lift could cause another collapse. Investigators inspecting the vessel, Coast Guard ships nearby. The investigation will focus on 3 critical questions. Was there a failure in the ship's ballast control system? Were containers properly weighed and stacked? And most importantly, could this disaster have been prevented? The answers could force shipping companies worldwide to reconsider safety protocols and possibly rewrite the rules of container handling at ports. In a single morning, the Mississippi transformed from just another cargo ship into the center of one of the most dramatic maritime accidents in U.S. port history. It's a reminder of the hidden dangers of global trade. Behind every shipment of clothes, electronics, and food lies a delicate balance of engineering and risk. When that balance fails, the results can be catastrophic. This was the collapse of the motor vessel Mississippi. A rare disaster that left the shipping industry asking hard questions, and the world watching in shock.